This video is to show how I do my little cartoon characters. We'll choose the pencil icon, or pencil tool, and black, and we'll go ahead and start a person. We need a head, a body, legs, and then let's put the hand up. Let's have this person hold a sign. Let's see, I love to draw. And so our sign will be rectangular. There we go. And we'll have a little stick the person is holding it with. There we go. And then we'll have them working on their laptop. Let's make that shaped a little bit better. There we go. Now, we need to make sure, that everything connects, because if we go to color it in later, it's important to have it neat. Now, I could draw this table with straight lines, but I prefer the sort of homemade look of just the hand-drawn lines, even though it's not always the neatest. So there we go. That's our table. And here's our leg. The leg will be rounded on the bottom, so it's easier to draw. And we don't see the rear leg, so we only have 3 there. Now, let's go ahead and do some coloring. Okay, so I'll save this. And let's change to our fill bucket. And let's make the person's head that color. That's probably not light enough. Let's make it that color. And we'll make them wear blue. There we go. That's a little dark though. Let's make that a little lighter. That looks better. And then let's make this tabletop sort of a brown, tan color. And let's make it a little darker for the sides, because remember the light will hit the top, and then a little darker and more drab for the legs. Those are on the bottom. And let's do the laptop in gray. There we go. And let's draw some shadows now. We need a medium gray for shadows, and we need an airbrush tool. And I'm going to make it large with a very low opacity for doing the person. And let's go ahead and do our sign as well. Now I'm going to use the eyedropper tool right up. Let me show you that again, up on the top right. And we'll select the color, double tap the lower left corner to undo that. Let's use that eyedropper tool to select right there. And we'll make this that color. And then let's use that eyedropper tool once again for this color. Oh, now we've got to zoom in and fill in our holes. Okay, that looks good. Now, to make it really pop, we need shadows. Let's change to the airbrush tool again and make our color gray. And now I'm going to show you the secret. We add a new layer, and that layer is going to go below the top layer. And that way we can draw our shadows down here, but not cover over our main drawing. So I'm going to adjust that radius a little larger, and the opacity I'm going to bring down even farther. So it's barely there. There we go. Shadow for the person. And then a shadow for the table, and it's just very slight. Now I will change the size of the brush, and we'll do shadows. We'll create another one for surface shadows. That'll go over top. And then I will create a shadow under the head and under the arms. And I'm going to undo those a little bit, and I'm going to make this just slightly bigger and a little bit darker. There we go. Yep, that's better. It's also good to know where your light's coming from. But under the arms, definitely in shadow. And then we'll put some shadows on the head to make it look really round. You know what? Let's make our tool a little bit wider first. So that's bigger. That could be a little neater. I'm using a phone with a stylus, by the way. And so that makes it easy for me to do this. There we go. Now we'll have a little shadow right here for the sign. And the top, I gotta change my size again. The top of the stick holding the sign needs to have a little bit of a shadow there to be believable. And also under the hand here, that should be in shadow. But those I'm going to undo. They're still a little big. And let me make my radius a little bit smaller. There we go. Shadow, shadow, and right there. Okay. Now, for the table, we have shadows on the legs. Like that. We have a deeper shadow right under each leg. That's very faint. And then we have a shadow under the computer to give it depth. And I also put a little bit of a shadow on the surface for the keyboard. And oh, we forgot to draw our little apple. So let's go back to this layer and That's sort of an apple. Not very attractive. Oops. I did that in the wrong color. That's in the gray color. So let's make that black. Let's go in here. Let's make it a little bit bigger. There's our bite. That looks better. Okay. And just for a little decorative touch, let's fill that with white. That looks good. That's maybe a little too white. Let's give it just a little bit of gray. That looks better. All right. And I think we're done. Looks good to me. So I'm going to save it. And then we're finished. Hope you enjoyed that. Oh, one more thing. Whoops. All right, let's go get that back from our gallery, because I don't know what I just did there. But I've got one more thing to do. There. Now we're done. Thanks for watching.